foreclosure rates in the country. Congressman, thanks for being with us tonight. You just heard the Secretary saying this is a win-win. This perhaps finally is at least a beginning of the help to get people back. Is this enough?
Well, John, I'm glad the Secretary is refocused on this. Frankly, I had him out to my district. I told him in 2009 that these programs weren't going to be enough. They weren't going to be effective for my district. And they haven't been effective for most of the country where these problems exist.
Why? Well, what's wrong with them? You heard the President back in 2009. They sold this at the time. They were very ambitious, very optimistic, and frankly, they haven't worked out to match their numbers. Is it their fault, or is it just something in the market?
Well, it's good intentions, but they haven't put enough pressure on the banks. They haven't, the programs were too cumbersome to begin with. In my area, many of the homes are 70% underwater. When they limited it to 105 and then to 125% of loan to value, they immediately cut off the worst hit areas, and those markets just continue to decline.
Now, there's an argument about this. I want you to listen here. The former Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney was out in Las Vegas the other day, gave an interview to the newspaper out there. You say the administration hasn't done enough, and you talk about those who are way underwater, 150, 170%, and what you view as the government's responsibility to help them. Listen to Governor Romney. He has a very different perspective.
Don't try and stop the foreclosure process. Let it run its course and hit the bottom, allow investors to buy homes, put renters in them, fix the homes up, and let it turn around and come back up. The Obama administration has slow-walked the foreclosure process.
His perspective is that the government will never get it right. You say it's too cumbersome, too many rules, they haven't leaned on the banks hard enough. His perspective is, you know what, the government is never going to get this right. Get out of the way. Painful maybe, but let the market run its course.
Well, look at Mr. Romney's state of Michigan that he is so proud of being from, and you look at Detroit. And because of the spiraling values, the homes they live in now cost less than the cars they make, what cars they still make. It is a very intractable problem that when the appraisals and the values start declining, they tend to be a vortex that just keeps going until it hits bottom. We can't afford as a country to let this problem continue until we all hit bottom.
Now, you're not running for re-election.
I'm not.
How much does the bad economy in your district factor into the fact that not going to try again?
Oh, it's a big frustration. The frustration that I wasn't able to get more people focused on this sooner. The neglect to this crisis until now of the administration. They talked a good game. They put in some programs that I think were well-intentioned, but they simply haven't worked. And not
from a Democrat, neglect is a pretty strong word. Well, this is a president who's about to go around to the country and say, I want 4 more years, I've tried my best. To have a Democrat saying he's neglected one of the country's biggest, if not the country's biggest economic problems.
In my opinion, this is the administration's biggest failure. And it's the reason, without excising this cancer from the economy, you're never going to cure the patient. And I support the president. I'll vote for the president next election. I hope he wins, because the alternative is much worse.
He's not going to get what you want done now with the Republican House, I suspect.
Well,
why didn't it happen in the 2 years the Democrats controlled everything?
We couldn't get them to focus on it, frankly.
Couldn't get the White House to focus.
Right.
And you tried.
We tried. I've sent 30 letters. We did a lot of meetings. I went, brought Mr. Donovan to my district. He told me that he had the answer. Clearly he didn't. You showed tonight in your statistics. The statistics don't lie. When I told him that they didn't have the correct answer, they were pretty arrogant about it. They said, you just didn't understand what you were talking about. I'm a former realtor, former businessman. I think I know what I was talking about. They just simply didn't listen to the members of Congress or tell them that there was a better way.
And what will, this may sound almost a crass question, what will the political ramifications of that be for the president? I don't assume you think he's going to lose California, but in your part of the state, which is a little bit more dicey.
The president has a chance now to get it right. I hope he does. I want him to succeed. America needs him to succeed. And so I'm hopeful that this program will work better than I think it might. It's a baby step. I think it's a positive step, and it's an acknowledgement that the problem is significant. I'm glad he's going to Las Vegas to announce it. Hopefully he'll talk to enough people there that he understands the depth of despair that's going on in our country. My folks have been living through a depression, and 30% of my folks have already lost their houses. It is significant. It's awful for the people and the families that are going through it.